Greetings, Grasshoppers. Hello and welcome to the Bot Signal. My name is RJ Redden. I am founder of Black Belt Bots. I am a ninja and a messenger bot strategist and all kinds of things. Queen of the Andals. No, I'm just kidding. Too soon, isn't it, Game of Thrones fans? Anyway, I am a person who works with people on creating massively cool and utterly engaging messenger bots. Entrepreneurs hire me to rocket launch their marketing message because most are shouting into a black hole online, can't get traction to save their lives, and are a carbon copy of everyone else. So I help launch a powerful digital message that gets you visible, gets engagement, and increases that bottom line. Bottom line is this: get your bot out there so you can be bot-tastic and you can work smarter, not harder. So, my darlings, welcome to the Bot Signal today. I am going to chat about something that people ask me about all the time, and that is this: how to create awesome content for the bot. Some people are, I've talked to people that are just on the fence. Oh, do I do this? Does this mean I have to create a whole bunch of content? And oh God, we're all content creation machines anyway, right? Well, I know that I can be at times. Richard is here. Hey, Richard. Good to see you, my friend. Ed and Steven are here too. Hello, my friends. Welcome, gentlemen. And ladies, if you're here. And coordinates all in between. Today we're going to talk about killer content because it is a great secret for engagement. Listen, I do a lot of tricks for little tools for engagement in the bots. Everything from the way that the questions are worded to the emojis that I'm using. Absolutely everything has a purpose. But nothing beats great engaging content. And a lot of people find this to be a hurdle. A lot of people are like, I don't want to. I don't want to create more. This is ridiculous. Why do I have to do this again? Here's the secret. You don't necessarily... There are a couple of ways to go about this. You can create content for your bot. Or you can reduce, reuse, recycle content that you've already created out there online and use it in your bot. You probably have a lot of content. I know I do. I've got videos. I got video everywhere, baby. Everywhere that I could possibly put a video, I've got a video. And some other stuff as well. Podcasts and Alexa and all that kind of stuff. That's all great. It's all wonderful. But when I took a look at what can I reuse in my bot, there's actually a lot. There's a lot out there that can be repurposed into a bot without too much trouble at all. Jack's here. Hey, Jack. Great to see you. So, first thing we're going to talk about is let's talk about the content creation first, because I think that this is really important. I think that it's important for us to know, if you're going to be creating content, what content should you create? What can you use to create that? What's the best type of content to create? For me, the major rule is this: short and sweet. If you're going to make video for your bot, please do not make it over 5 minutes long. Do not do this. You want to get your foot in the door. You want to catch people's attention. Bots are for developing that first date part of the relationship. The first date, second date, third date. We're in that range. We want to get our foot in the door. We want to drop some value on there. And we want to see if they want some further contact. We're not developing our entire relationship and having an entire relationship in the bot. We are using the bot. We're using the automated messages to open a door so that we might be able to schedule a phone call, get a consult in there, something where we can take that relationship off the bot and into real life, or at least a Zoom call. Anyway, we are looking to get our foot in the door. There are folks out there who want to give everybody all of the information all at once, like right now. Let's get them all engaged at once. that can be very difficult for people to digest, especially in bot format. Bot format is like this. Who remembers E.T.? Who remembers that movie? Drew Barrymore as like a 6-year-old or something like that. And let me just tell you the story if you don't remember. It's okay. They left a little trail of Reese's Pieces to attract the extraterrestrial and help him follow a little path. You are doing exactly the same thing in a bot. So when you are creating content, short, sweet, to the point. I often will create bot messages and then I'll type it out and then I'll come back to it 10 minutes later and I'll shorten it. I'll start to take words out that don't really belong. You can remove a lot of extraneous that's, I've found out. You can remove a lot of phrasing that is just, when I'm talking, I just want to give it all. Just want to give it all to you. So I'll say this and this. And this, and this. Yeah. Sometimes you can just cut that down to one thing. And that's the kind of stuff that you want to use in your bot. You want to just give one idea at a time. And then you want to give space in between those ideas. Don't forget about your delays, people. Don't forget about your typing delays. Anyway, that got a little technical. Let's rein it back in. When you're creating for your bot, short and sweet, video, under 4 minutes. 3 minutes is best. I know that sometimes is hard. Sometimes it's harder to write more concisely than it is a whole essay full of wonderful, awesome knowledge that you have. I get that, and I have been there, and that is okay. But just know this, that what people are consuming in Messenger, what people are intending to consume in Messenger, is short form stuff. Because think about it. Whenever you've gotten a hold of a friend or talking to somebody you love in Messenger, it's a little bit from them and a little bit from you and a little bit from them and a little bit from you. It's not, now I'm reading somebody's thesis project online. Messages that are too long. Text messages that are a wall of text. Anything that goes on too long is too long. You want to shorten that up. You want to give it a little punch. You want to give it a little levity if you can, if that fits your brand. Brad Friedman is here. Now it's a party. It's a party right now. Hello, Brad. Good to see you, my friend. So we're talking about short and sweet. If you stranded me on a desert island and said you can only create one type of content, I realize that analogy is a little off, but go with me. Bear with me. If I could only choose one kind of content to produce for the rest of my life, I would choose video. I would choose it every time. It's more engaging than text every time. You can explain a more complicated idea in 3 minutes on a video than you can in a mountain of text. And that is absolutely the truth. Audio is also good. I like to do that for things that I will encourage clients to do that if they've got, kind of some meditationary stuff they want to give out or, something where people can kind of close their eyes and imagine. But also if you've got podcasts and things like that, it's fine to put that information out through the bot. Podcasts, they're usually way over the limit. The limit inside Messenger is 25 megabytes for anything. Audio, video, whatever you got, images, whatever you got. 25 megabytes. You go over that and it won't let you send that. That's probably a good thing for their servers. Anyway, video I would create endlessly and day after day. Why? It helps people bond to you quicker than anything else. There's so many, who has run into a tiny bit of controversy out there on the internet about Game of Thrones? Even if you don't watch the show, have you kind of heard the backlash that's going on about that show? You probably have, because it's everywhere. Now, why are people so angry? Well, a number of things happened, but the main thing that happened, over 8 years, people bonded with those characters. I don't know Jon Snow in real life. I don't. But there, you know, like, I feel something about the way that he ended up in the show. Why? I don't know that guy. It's a fantasy story and I know it. Come on, they got magic dragons. I know it's fake. I know it isn't real. But I've still bonded with that character. And video is part of the reason why. Video is part of the reason why. If you really want somebody, your stuff to come across with personality, if you really want things to come across, you get your message out there really well, video is the way to go. Now, you don't have to do what I'm doing here. You don't have to, do the talking head thing if you're not totally in love with the way you look. There are other things that you can do to give people valuable information. One of the things that you can do, and I've used a lot of different software, like templated video software that helps you get a message out real quickly. And some of you have seen these in the past from me. I've done Lumen 5 videos. Lumen 5 is okay. But I have found a lower priced product that I'm using, and it's also, in my opinion, it's easier to use as well. And it's called Content Samurai. I have been using that. That is something where if you've got a few paragraphs of information, you can plug it into the system. The system will create images and videos for you. And they'll create images and videos that go along with the things that you're saying in your text. And then you edit that stuff a little bit, maybe switch out a couple of the images or a couple of the videos or whatever, and boom, you've got a video with copyright-free music to it in 20 minutes rather than in an hour. You know what I'm saying? Stacy says use Loom is great. That is correct. I'm going to go over Loom in just a second because that one is super great for tutorial type things. I use back to Content Samurai. I'm using that one in order to let me type this in there as well so you guys can take advantage of this one if you want to. Okay. Hope that went through. Can't see it on my screen, but oh, there it is. I'm using this one a lot for advertising the shows. Just getting some stuff out there that will advertise the show a little bit. Sometimes I'll put them in the bot just to let everybody know what the show's going to be about. I haven't used it for much beyond that yet. Basically, I put out a lot of shows and I need to make videos fast. But it's a really helpful little tool that does a lot of the work for you. You make some tweaks and adjustments and you're done. The other idea for video in a bot, believe it or not, my friends, you don't have to have a high-powered camera. You don't have to have anything super fancy to get some video for your bot. You can totally use your phone. Why is that? Because of this. Most people are accessing Messenger on their phone. I've got the huge boy. You know what I got? I got the 6 Plus. I'm going to have to move on to the 10 Plus soon, I'm sure. But I've got a great big, I love watching movies in bed sometimes at night. This kind of a phone. Even with this kind of a phone, they're not going to see the video very, very large. They're going to see it probably on the top half of this screen right here. So you don't have to worry about huge, expensive camera mechanisms. You can shoot a 3-minute video on this thing. You can do that. And it's possible. Affiliate link. I do have one, Richard. Funny you should ask. This is, if you want my affiliate link, here it is. There we go. Boop. That'll lead you to a 7-day free trial. And that's a good, I went through that because I'm like, I've tried these before. What's so special about this one? I found out. But we were talking about like video that you can shoot with your phone. It's really, really powerful. One thing that I'm going to recommend if you shoot with your phone I've got a piece of equipment here. I'm going to show you. And it holds my phone. Hold the phone. So this little piece of equipment right here, and I went and got this thing at the guitar store. You can buy these things on Amazon. It's called iClip. It's not all that much. It will stretch, hold your phone, boop. The reason why I suggest some sort of a phone holder, because if you don't, the shaky stuff will get on people's nerves. Doing this. So totally you can shoot video on your phone. Just set it somewhere stable. And do the best you can with it. It doesn't have to be professional for this. But avoid the shaky if you possibly can, because people will, they'll need Dramamine by the end of it. You don't want that. Very good. Corinder's here. Hey. Very good. So that's Content Samurai. Very, very good to advertise things. Very good to advertise things. Letting people know what's going on. Make a little video about, your newest offering, and just have people hit the learn more button if they want to learn more about it. It's just a real short content piece. Content Samurai will put music on it for you. They'll put it at the right length. You can do voiceovers in that if you want. And that stuff, you get to make it real fast. It's pretty easy to use. So that is that one. There's also, as Stacy was pointing out, useloom.com. Don't have an affiliate link for this one. Useloom.com. Okay, so that one is, I think that I use that every single day. There is a free version of that. I've got the paid just because I do use it every single day. I use Loom. What it does is it will give you, you can choose to just record yourself. You can choose to record you and the screen. It'll put you in a little, circle on the left or the right or whatever. And you can also just use it to record the screen. But I use that all the time because I use it for client communication all the time, in fact. But if you were going to use that to maybe teach something a little bit technical on the bot, once again, practice with it enough so you know how long it's going to take. Only give about 3 minutes worth of information. We're wanting drips and drops here. We don't want a thunderstorm. The thunderstorm is what you can give people when you get them to that phone call. When you get them to that coffee meeting or that lunch meeting or whatever. It's okay to do the deluge then. But what we want to do is short, sweet, valuable. That's all we want to do here. You loo. I loom all the time. It's fabulous stuff. And yeah, mostly for client communication, but sometimes I will put those in my bot as well. A couple of weeks ago, Facebook Messenger made some changes, and everybody was asking me what it was all about. So I very quickly did a Loom video, and I showed people, what was going on and where they needed to go for information. And I will do that with Loom videos, you betcha, every time. And sometimes people might need to, watch theirs on the computer to get the full effect of the screen or whatever, of a bigger screen. But if you need to disseminate some information fast, if you are in an industry that changes a lot, if you're in the tax industry, if you're in the insurance industry, if you are in something that changes a lot, like daily, weekly basis, use Loom is super great, and that one's free too. iLoom, it's useloom.com, Ed. Yeah, that's if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see where I put that information in there. Loom is so great, you guys. It is so great. And you can create video content that is short, sweet, to the point, and move on. Okay, so that's a couple of video makers that are pretty hot stuff. I also have, some bigger programs on my computer, but Most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm using those two and those two only. And it has absolutely been worth it to me because honestly, I mean, there's only so much of your personality you're going to get through a text. Using video is, if you're thinking about bang for your buck, if you're thinking about return on investment, just go with video. Go with video. It's okay. Just go with video. Figure out how to do it. If you don't like the way that you look, don't put your face on there. That's totally fine. If you can put your voice on there, that would be stellar. Absolutely. Produce as much video content as you can. Now, I've been talking about how to use that in sort of an announcement format, which is totally great. Keeping people apprised of what's going on out there in the world, and certainly I use that a lot. But you can also use video in your bot in a couple of other ways that are very interesting and can teach people a lot. And that is doing video on like a 5-day, 7-day sequence. You can absolutely do that. That really helps people bond with your personality. You can also set it up to be more, set up your bot to be a place where people can discover things and discover more information and explore. And at the end of everything, they always find a video. It's always you talking to them. People will bond with you so much easier. They'll figure out you're a human being so much easier. They will self-select in or out of your bot so much faster if you are using video. This has become a rant about video. I'm okay with it. Anyway, so if you're going to create the thing that's the most bang for your buck. Do a video. If you really, really don't want to, that's totally fine. Audio is the next best thing. Images are great too. Text, write it like you sound. Use phrases and words that you use over and over again. Don't use jargon. You know what I mean? People don't use jargon in Messenger. They do, but it's not effective at all. You can absolutely use text if you want, but video is the best bang for your buck. Lindsay Badger's here. Now we are having a good time. Hello, Lindsay. So that's kind of when you're thinking about content creation, that's where to go. But a lot of people, I think, would be surprised to find out that content in your bot can come from stuff you already have. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It can come from videos you've already made. It can come from PDFs you've already made. It can come from lots of things you've already made. Now, sometimes when people start a new technical project, they kind of want to, clean out the old and bring in the new, and that's totally fine. I do that a lot. I like to try to refresh my stuff. Recently I realized, through consistent encouragement from someone else, that my pictures were a little old and I needed to get that redone. Refresh your stuff on the internet if you possibly can. But with using the stuff that you already have, if you've got a killer freebie that people just absolutely love and get a lot of value out of, put it in your bot. If you've got a 5-day challenge out there that is, awesomeness, put it in your bot. If you've got, PDFs, videos, if you've got short and sweet stuff out there, I don't care what format it is, put it in your bot. Put it in your bot or connect to it through your bot. Here it is. The more short and sweet that you are, the more people are going to respond to it. And you don't have to be sweet. I'm just kidding about that. The more concise and to the point you are, the more people are going to think, yeah, I can get something out of this. It's the opposite of everybody. A lot of people's inclination, again, is to just give information till you die. What actually that does is slows people down. It slows them down on the way to scheduling a call with you. This is the last thing you want. It's the last thing you want. So, Richard, audio is good. Hey, Audio is good, and I absolutely love it. That's if you've never spoken to Richard, you must, because you will immediately know why he says audio is so good. So anyway, very good. Collect the audio that you have out there. If you've got some short and sweet stuff, grab that. Videos, look at your YouTube channel if you've been posting there. Do you have anything that will give some people some value inside the bot? You can download that, or from wherever you have it stored, and put it inside the bot. There's no, don't let it be a stopping point, this content stuff. Don't let it be a stopping point for you. A lot of people talk to me and they're like, oh, I've got to create so much stuff. You really don't have to create that much stuff to get started. Eventually, you're going to want to put a lot of content in there, because you're going to want to keep people engaged and happy and doing stuff. Absolutely you are. But you don't have to start with a whole lot, and you can start partially with stuff that you already have. For instance, for a long time, I was doing shows, and they were about like productivity and tech stuff and all that. It was before bots. And I've been able to use, and when I was doing a show then, I would produce a whole like little worksheet. I called them Ninja Notes. I produced it every time I went on the air. There were like 4 times a week I went on the air for this stuff. I must not have slept. Anyway, those PDFs are completely recyclable in a bot. You absolutely can. And honestly, if people are looking at those PDFs on their phone, Messenger brings them up really nicely. So PDFs are great. I wouldn't put anything that's super long in there, because again, the bigger in file size everything is, the longer it will take to download. And people don't really know what they're doing with bots yet, necessarily. They don't always kind of compute what's happening. And so sometimes they think if it's a real big PDF that the bot's broken. Yeah, if you can, squash that stuff down. Plenty of hello from Canada. David Burrows, hello! Squash that stuff down if you can. If it's over, 5 pages long or something, and make it super easy to consume on a phone. When you're creating content for a bot, please, for the love of whatever you consider holy, check it on your phone. Do this for me. The reason why is because people want to get this stuff. They want to download. If it's a PDF, they want to download it. And the biggest way that you can prevent your stuff from sitting on a digital shelf and collecting digital dust is putting that stuff in a bot, because people will hit it right up and they'll start to read it. But if your text is tiny, if it didn't come out right, test all of your PDFs on your phone. Make sure that a normal human could scan that stuff. Make it bullet points. Don't do full sentences. These are the types of things that, it's, I've run a whole lot of these, and I just want to share with you that it's the same thing as if you were sitting in a conference or something and somebody puts up a PowerPoint and there are a billion lines of text on it, you go, eh. Same thing. If your PDF has tiny text on it, go ahead and resize that stuff. Bullet point it if you can. You are getting your foot in the door. You are not showing them absolutely everything that you have to offer. Don't do that. Don't do it in a bot. Because then people will go, fantastic, I've learned everything I need to know, and they'll go away. And you will not have served your purpose, my friend. So reduce, reuse, recycle. Find what you already have. Find blog posts that you've already done. Find PDFs. Definitely whatever your freebie is. If there's a quiz, you can quiz in a bot. You can. It's a little bit harder sometimes with the scoring. You kind of have to do, trust me, some little mathematical things. But it is absolutely doable. Or if you don't want to spend time on that, you can always point off of Messenger to a quiz. The point is, though, you've probably already made killer content, my friends. You probably already have. What can you put in your bot? What can you put that loads quickly, is easy to read? If it's a video, does it have captions? Ooh, captions are beautiful. Why are captions so beautiful? Because of this. People aren't always in a place where they can pop some headphones in and listen to you. Maybe they want to get the gist of what's going on without actually having to dive in. They are seeing, in a bot, they are seeing if you are worth their time. They're seeing if they mesh with you. They're seeing if you have good, valuable things to offer. So if you're putting a video in there and it's not the kind that has type, a lot of type and all that kind of stuff on it, fantastic. Put some captions on there if you possibly can. More people will stop. More people will go, oh, interesting. And the people that are in maybe a loud place, or maybe they're at their place of business, or maybe they're in some other place where they can't just pop in some headphones or just pop the sound on, they'll really appreciate you thinking about that. You will stick as you're in their minds as someone who has thought about these things. That's exactly where you want to be. Stacy says, gotta reduce, reuse, recycle stuff all the time. Never get rid of it. Just recycle, update, reuse. You may have to update. I have that problem. I work in technology. I need to update. So know that there might be some updating that you have to do with some of the past content that you've had out there. But honestly, updating it is about 20% of the original time used to create it. It really is. And updating that stuff is, it's vital. You want to be the expert, right? You are establishing yourself as the go-to person. So take the time. If you've got some old stuff out there and you go, not quite right, go ahead and update it. When in doubt, update. That's what I do. What do you use to add captions? Excellent question, Richard. So if I am on Facebook, there is something that you can add to your videos if the videos are under half an hour long. Facebook will actually caption your video for you. That is something that you dig into the settings of the video, and there's an option there to get SRT captions, to get Facebook created ones. Facebook actually does a reasonably good job. You know how sometimes you go through a caption thing and it's like, what do they think that I said? So it's a little bit ridiculous. That's totally fine stuff. But Facebook does get a little bit closer. What I also like about Facebook's added captions is that it also adds periods and like punctuation. Some caption things just absolutely don't do that, and it's a pain. It's a pain. So for me, Facebook is the one that I've had to edit the least. If you're adding captions, you must go over it. Can't just push a button and go, all right, I got this caption. No. You must. And since you're doing a 3 to 5 minute video, 3 minutes really better, but since you're doing a short video, it's not going to take that long to edit anyway, right? So just know this. Doing captions, it does involve going over them and making sure that all of the words are right. Sometimes, I'll get captioned as saying blackbeltbox.com. Black Belt Box is not my website. It's Black Belt Bots, but so there's no caption software out there that I know to be word perfect at this time. There are some that are better than others. So if you're doing a Facebook Live, try to get that stuff captioned on Facebook itself, because that's a good thing. Some other places that I've used, I think that I've used a place, and I'll put this link a little later in the comments, because I haven't used this in a while, but Go Caption was one that I used for a while, and Caption Creator is one that I used for a while as well. Right now, though, and those two were free stuff. One that I'm using right now is called Designer, and it's design with 2 R's at the end. So that is another one that I'm using right now, and that will actually put things that will put like live shows like this into ebook format. So that's a captioner that I'm using right now. But yeah, there are many things online. Feel free. Rev.com will do $1 a minute. Lovedesigner.com. Oh yeah. Is there any time reusing is not a good idea? There is, Stacy says, yes. There's one time, and we've already talked about it a little bit, but the one time reusing your old content is not a good idea is if it's elderly and you have not updated it. If if you ever saw me talking about Windows 98, you would go, out of touch, not good. So, again, when you're recycling some already awesome evergreen content that you have out there, just take a second, make sure it's updated. That's a good thing. So those are the things that I use for captioning. Captioning is great for video. There is another product out there called, there are a lot of products that will like take your podcast, turn it in, and I'm sure you know of some, Richard. If you have some good captioning stuff, if you know of anything out there that the audience could benefit from, please throw it in the chat for me. But there's one called Headliner out there that will caption your stuff and put it into actual like images and things like that, and caption it at the same time. So Headliner's pretty good. Sometimes their captioning you have to work a little bit harder to make it work, but I have found that 3-5 minute podcasts, stuff like that, putting that stuff to a little bit of music and some background images, that can get a lot of attention online just because, it's just a little bit different, and people really like that, and that's absolutely something you can use in your bot. Yeah, talking about Windows 3.11 or DOS. That's a wonderful memory, isn't it, Ed? Repurpose.io is good to strip audio from video. I'm a huge fan of repurpose.io. It is great to strip audio from video. It won't do the captioning, but absolutely it'll strip audio from video, and then it'll take that audio and send it to, a number of places. Repurpose is a really great piece of software, everybody. DOS, baby. Absolutely. So, content. Let me know this. Write something in the comments for me, everybody. What kind of content are you creating right now? Whether you're using it in your bot or not, throw me what types of content you're producing, and I can tell you how to skinny that down, how to concise that up, and put it into your bot. We'll play Stump the RJ right now. It'll be fun. Yeah, Repurpose Then Designer is a match made in heaven. Very good. So tell me what you're creating. Are you doing live streams? Are you doing podcasts? Are you creating video already? Are you blogging? What kind of content are you creating, and how can I help you fit that into a bot format? Online summit call for speakers. So Stacy's doing an online summit call for speakers. You know what I would do if I were doing an online summit call for speakers? Let me ask you a couple questions though. Is that summit something you've done before? That's a vital question, because if that summit is something that you've done before, you can take clips of some of the various speakers that you've had before, and you can then, make that into one like little 3-minute clip. So take 3 or 4 speakers, create a clip out of what they've done, and then, run those together and make that into about a 3-minute video, and use that to do a call for speakers. That's what I would do. Absolutely. The video clips are great. For some reason in adult learning, when we have, a big stretch of time, we forget everything in the middle. Video clips of different speakers, what it does is it maintains your interest just because the speakers change. I know that's a weird thing, isn't it? But it's totally true of adult learning. So I would put some clips together, my friend. Nope, you are doing brand new stuff. Well, that does sound like you, Stacy. Brand new stuff. So if it's brand new stuff, then I would, I might see if you've got any speakers at all. I would, see if you could use a small clip of them speaking, and then, this is who's on board for 2019. Are you coming on board? That kind of a thing. So you could ask for clips of the current speakers that you have, or ask them if you can go online and find something and make it into a clip, and then do that same thing. Put 3 or 4 of them together, and then make your call for speakers. Tell people how and where to apply, and then there you go. Yeah, I do know you. Very good. Yeah, those online summits are pretty cool. Can't wait to see what you do with that. Richard says, I use both designer and headliner. Yeah, because you're a smart tech guy, my friend. I know that for sure. There are so many of these things that once you've learned how to do them, you can then start stringing them together. Ed says, interviews with people from professions you need on your real estate team. So yeah. And I happen to know that those are, online Facebook Lives. What you can do there, Ed, is once again, let's grab the jewels from that. Now, a lot of times, if you've got a live stream show and if you've got a bit of an audience and people are commenting like they are right now, you actually don't have to watch back through the whole video to see what the cool stuff was. You can just look where people were really hot for commenting. You can look at those areas and then, give me a 30-second, 1-minute clip out of that. And then use that in the bot. And what I would do is, Ed, if this is possible, and I don't know, if it's just you or if you've got a team or whatever, but let's just say it's just you. You could put the show out and then take that 30-second, find that 30-second clip, isolate it, and then put it in your bot. Create a bumper intro outro that's like 2 seconds long. Do not go crazy with those bumpers, but just really even just a little slide that disappears or something like that. Put that in your bot after the show. Put it out to everybody and say, hey, this is what we covered on the show today. If you'd like to see more content like this, or you could, if you'd like to see more content, there's what kind of content that you'd like to see. You could use that to start a follow-up conversation with somebody about the show, about what they enjoy about it, what they're getting out of it, that kind of stuff. That could really help with some good market research stuff. And then 2, if people have subscribed to your bot just that day, then they'll get that 30-second, 1-minute follow-up, and it'll cement it. It'll cement the knowledge. We are not, in this universe, hurting for more knowledge. We are not hurting for more ways to disseminate that knowledge. We are hurting for, we've got blinders on because we run into so much knowledge. So when you're reaching in there a day later, say, maybe even a couple of days later, and you're reaching in there and saying, hey, I just wanted to give you the best, 30 seconds, or here are the 3 or 4 of the best clips from that interview the other day. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned. Next Tuesday, I'll have blah, blah, blah at blah, blah, blah time. You can absolutely use that in your bot to help cement knowledge in people's heads. We go through so much in a day. We take in so much that we can't even really count the number of messages that we get in a day. What message is going to choose to stick? How do you get your message to stick? Well, those 30-second, those minute clips are a huge, awesome way to get your message to stick, because now it's a reflection. Now it's oh yeah, I remember when they said that. Oh yeah, I remember I have a question about what they said and I didn't ask it at the time. Maybe I'll ask Ed now. Golden, Ed. Golden. All right, let me see if I got some more comments here. Designer and headline both, because they each do different fun stuff. Oh, absolutely. And honestly, if I could spend my entire day going, well, this will hook to this and this will hook to this, then no bots would ever get written. No bots would get written. So I tend to assign that out because I can't get myself caught in that little, I can sometimes on a 3-day weekend, and I did this weekend, but anyway. So creating killer content, let's go over this one more time. You want to keep it short and sweet. If you are doing PDFs, make sure that PDF is readable on a phone. Don't do more than about 3 or 4 pages. Unless they're large pictures, don't do more than 3 or 4 pages. Keep it short and sweet. Keep it something that they can consume on the run. If you need to picture them running while they're reading your content, that's fine too. Do not fill that thing up with words. Audio content can be a bit longer because it's the file size isn't that great. It isn't that big. So you can do some nice audio content. I like to do, when I'm encouraging people to do audio content on their bot, it's a story, it's a meditation, it's something that people can lean back and listen to. Video in your bot, use this if you possibly can. It's the most engaging and it'll give you the most bang for your buck. We've got a ton of resources out there in the chat if you want to look that up. Also, should you wish to get a free bot strategy and be always reminded of these shows, there's some direction for you right there. Anyway, if you're going to use video, caption. Do this for me. It will really help you. It'll really help the watchability of it. And if you possibly can, reduce, reuse, recycle, reuse stuff you've already got. If it needs to be updated, just update it. When in doubt, just update it. It's fine. That will go a long way towards establishing trust with the people that are using your bot. That is one of the main things that we're trying to do. When the bots will facilitate that front end of a conversation, at some point you're going to pick up the conversation. At some point you are going to jump in there and you're going to ask for a phone call, or you're going to ask for something else to get that conversation out of online and into a face-to-face format. We're building know, like, and trust. So when in doubt, update your content in your bot. So that's kind of it for me today. A couple of weeks ago, I did a show on challenges, and the show itself was a challenge because my microphone decided to quit on me that day, and the sound was really bad. So I am doing another show on challenges. It's going to be Thursday. It's going to be fabulous. I invite you to join me for that one. Richard says, thanks, RJ. Bots are beautiful. So are you. Oh, you're so nice to me, Richard. You're so good to me. Richard, I'm so sorry about yesterday. I was not paying attention to my calendar enough, and I need to get some time with you, man. So let's make that happen. And thank you for being here. The challenges, we'll go over that on Thursday, and then we'll have some more content next week. You know how that goes. Thanks you all for being here. And yeah, if you have any suggestions on stuff you want to see from the show, please do let me know what it is. Thanks for coming along, and I will see you all in a bot.